strategist who has spent nearly 2 decades helping business owners expertise driven visibility. And she's here to show you how to transform your profile from a passive placeholder into a powerful visibility engine. And so, even if you don't have a business, this is still important for you. All right, please help me welcome Cami Watson Hughes.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
It's
Cammy.
good to see you both online and offline. I'm somewhat used to doing this kind of a presentation because I also run an organization in Houston called the Social Media Breakfast, and we do an online, offline. Hi, Donna. Thank you. I do an online, offline kind of a presentation like this too every month. It's a little bit different, but very excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks, Donna, for recommending me. I appreciate that. Um, so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my slides. It's very helpful. First of all, don't worry about the slides. As you well know, we are going to give you a copy of these slides when we're done. I just want you to see them here so that we can get started. But really, we're going to work on leveling up your LinkedIn, and this can be either for a business or for yourself as a personal brand. Also for yourself as like I heard some students in the room. I heard some people that work for a company. So I will walk through all of the possibilities here for you, including I have a couple of slides on how to do your LinkedIn business page, which a lot of people ask me after this. But the main focus today is on your personal profile. And yeah, we'll get through it. Let's go. So, first of all, I just need to let you know some things have changed in LinkedIn over the last year or so. And of course, it has to do with AI. So, all of these tools are being run in the background by AI algorithms. There always was an algorithm, but they've gotten much smarter because of AI and the way that AI has grown over the last year or two. So there's now an AI-based algorithm that's looking specifically for your expertise. So it's looking at your profile, it's looking at what you post, it's looking at all of those things. It's looking at what you respond to whenever you're on LinkedIn, and it's creating a profile for you specifically. Like what should LinkedIn show you? Who should LinkedIn show you to? So it's really important more than ever that you have that profile buttoned in. Visibility now comes more from interactions and quality, not volume. So again, that's actually good news in some ways. LinkedIn is not like all of the other channels like Instagram, X/Twitter TikTok, all of those. In that, those particular, and even Facebook, those particularly want you to post a lot, like often, commonly. The problem is that LinkedIn is not like that, and I'll get into to why that is here in a minute. And that's actually good news for us who are very busy people. Just thought I might put that out there. Um, the third thing is that LinkedIn shows your content based on your actions. I told you that already. And posts can travel farther and longer. So I don't know how many of you use LinkedIn on a regular basis, but what I've noticed is that when I go into LinkedIn, if it's been a while, like say if I go on vacation and I decide to take a detox, like social media break, and I come back, I may see posts that were posted like a week ago or 2 weeks ago pop up in my feed, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll go into it. So what's happening with that is that LinkedIn knows that a lot of people don't come on there like every single day. So it holds some of the things it thinks it might want to see for a little bit longer. So what's interesting about that for you and I is that means that our audience or the people that follow us and the people that are interested in what we're talking about might see our post even a week or two later, especially if the post has a lot of engagement. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. It's kind of an interesting thing that's sort of new. So, what does the algorithm reward right now? There's four things specifically. This is a lot of research has been done around that by a bunch of different people. You can reach out to me if you want to get the exact research. I'm happy to send you their link. But meaningful comments is number one. Right now, if you get a comment, like there's a lot of bots. I don't know if you guys have noticed there's a lot of bots in social media. There are a lot of bots on social media and they're making comments. And so they're looking for the algorithm's looking for meaningful comments that weren't created by an AI. So there are people that, so if you are this is all I'm going to say. If you are ever tempted to get a tool that will leave comments for you on LinkedIn, please don't do it. It's not going to help you over the long term, and it might harm your account. So just, I don't think any of you would do that, but I'm just like telling you, if you're like, hey, I don't have time for this, like, oh, how cool is this? It does all of these things. I get pitched on those kinds of tools all the time, and I'm like, blocks and don't do it, because really what LinkedIn is going to be helpful for you to do is to create those relationships with people. And honestly, it's not a place to sell, it's a place to create relationships. So we'll get into that a little bit more too here in a minute. Meaningful comments are really important. And I'm going to teach you how it's important that you be commenting on other people's things as well. Second thing is the time spent connecting. It does pay attention to who you're connecting with and who you're commenting on. So having a number of people that you go out and visit and comment on their things is really a very powerful way to create a very strong profile. Saves and shares. It's definitely looking for this, because that is sort of an interesting point. If somebody likes what you said and they're like, I want to save this for later, or they share your content with somebody else. Like I do this all the time. I'll see something and I'll share it into a DM to somebody. I'll say, hey, I thought about you when I saw this. What do you think about this? And I do that. I have been seeing a lot of people doing that with their own posts lately. I mean, you can do that, but I wouldn't. It really just makes you look desperate. Like, here, come like comment on my post. So that's one of the things I wouldn't do. But sharing other people's things is really helpful for their algorithm, but also it makes you seem like an expert, because you're coordinating things and giving it and remembering people. See, that's the funny thing, is that when you send something to somebody in LinkedIn and you're like, I thought about you when I saw this, and maybe you'd be interested in this, and I don't know. And what do you think? It makes you be at the front of their mind for that particular topic, even though you didn't write it. Isn't that interesting? Kind of interesting. And then original thinking is really important too. Again, it's going to be very important that you have some original thinking in your posts. It's not so much about promoting your stuff, although you can promote your things on LinkedIn. I'll tell you how to do it. I'll tell you exactly what works on that. But most of the time, you should be talking about things that are in your career field, wherever you are, that show that you're thinking about what's happening in the world of your world, so that other people know that you're an expert in that area. Really, I mean, people like to hear what other people are thinking about current events, things that are going on, and I mean very specifically to your career, right? So I'm not talking about world events unless you're a politician, then of course. But otherwise, you want to be talking about your career field. And because the AI algorithm is working that way, it's going to also begin to know that you're an expert in that field if you stick with it. So if you talk about this one day and that the other day and this the other day, it's going to have a hard time calculating who to show you to, so just think about that too, as you go forward. All right. So those are the four things. So what is losing reach? What's not working right now? I would say linking out. So the first one is, and it's tough because, I'm a person that puts on a bunch of events. But if you have like a post that links out to that event, it's going to depress the reach of that post, that specific post, every single time, like a lot. Every time you put a link that leaves the platform, it's going to completely depress. Now, you'll say, well, what can I do? Because I need to put a link in, right? Yes. What's funny is that you can actually go back and add the link after you've posted, like as a comment, and it won't depress the link. Or you can actually go back and edit the actual post itself and put the link in later, and it won't either. So it's sort of a catch-22 right now. That's what we're doing. I'm not telling you that's going to work forever. Right now it's working. So it's not depressing the reach, but it will completely depress the reach. Already, whenever you post something on LinkedIn, it only goes out to about, say, 5% of your audience, and maybe a few people that it think might want to see it. And then the LinkedIn algorithm waits to see how people respond to that content. And if a bunch of people comment or like it or whatever, then it's going to show it to more people. And then it's going to keep growing. Do you see what I'm saying? So it starts really small with a very small subset of your audience. And then if it gets really good engagement, it goes further. So that means we should be writing engaging posts and testing what's engaging for our audience. And it's not always going to hit. And it's okay to post about something again later. So we'll talk about that. But once a day is kind of that. I'll get to that in a minute, but once a day is kind of the sweet spot. The second one is shallow engagement. So you see it all the time in Instagram and TikTok and places like fire. They put like little emojis or hey, all of those things. Um, those aren't really like working anymore, like in the sense that you put those on there and LinkedIn gives it a very low score as far as quality. So what I would suggest you do is that you write when you leave a comment for somebody, make sure it's like meaty, like it says something about what they said and gives them like add to the conversation. It doesn't have to be super long, but like it should be like a couple of sentences instead of just one. So again, do not hire AI to do this for you because they do it badly. And it's always very clear that it's from, I don't know if you guys can tell it's from AI, but I can. And most people that are around this a lot can. So don't. And then the third thing that isn't working is high frequency posting. So again, I told you, here's the funny thing about LinkedIn that is actually positive if you think about it, and sometimes maybe a little bit frustrating, is that the first time that you put a post out in the day for LinkedIn in a 24-hour period, you're going to have the most reach for that post. Doesn't matter what time of day you put it out, but you'll have the most reach for the first post you put onto LinkedIn in the day. A second post, some people say you should wait 6 hours. I've heard this or that, but the second post has less of a reach for the day. So really you want to be thinking about what is my one post a day that matters and what would that look like? Now I will go through in a few minutes to talk to you about how like commenting on other people's things is really also helpful to you because it shows up in your feed as well. And then that doesn't mess with your reach. So again, high frequency posting, like I'm going to put out 6 posts today. The first one might be the only one that gets the reach that you hope for. I'm not saying the other ones will never get reach. I guess if a bunch of people like commented on it and did all that kind of stuff, then it might take some reach. It might take off. But the point is that in the algorithm, that's how they're weighting the postings. So, and part of that is because, you're going to have this issue with the posting and so again, it doesn't matter what time of day. But why these old tactics aren't working. All right. So posting daily doesn't necessarily equal visibility. The platform now prioritizes quality interactions over sheer quantity of posts. I'll talk to you some more about a very specific tactic that I will give you today that you can use that I've been told by some of my students and some of the people that I work with have made them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars without selling once. So keep listening, stay tuned. Keep your ears on. I'm gonna tell you about that here in a little bit. I told you engagement windows are longer. A strong post can gain traction for days or even weeks with continued conversation. Don't count on it, but I'm just telling you that it's the algorithm has been tuned for longer periods. And part of the reason is because a lot of people that are on LinkedIn never post. I don't know if you've noticed that it's not like a place, some people don't post there at all. And so there's a very small percentage of the LinkedIn audience or the LinkedIn group that actually posts. So they're trying to keep room for people to have that value. And so those engagement windows are much longer for that reason. So they give you more chances to see something, because you don't get on there as often. As I said, LinkedIn is looking for credibility signals everywhere. So they're looking for high value expert content. They're looking for clear authority signals in your profile, and they're looking for meaningful engagement. So this is the overview slide of what's really working right now. So I put my picture here and I'll tell you why in a minute. Elevate your personal profile. So this is the number one thing that you can do besides posting and all that stuff that seems very overwhelming is to update your profile. And there's a couple of reasons. If you update your profile, it's going to give you some more reach because the algorithm now prioritizes content from authentic personal profiles over like business profiles over anything. So like having that dialed in is super important. And it's going to bring trust to you because people resonate with individuals. And I think with AI being what it is right now, I don't know if you've seen the backlash that's happening against AI online and everywhere else. So there's a big backlash. I am not an AI negative person. By the way, I will tell you, I teach AI and how to use it to move in your business. And maybe we'll do that another time. But I talk about workflows. I talk about how to take some things off your plate. But always, always, always with the human inside of it because people are not going to trust it unless you do. And so, one of the things I think I always tell this story, it's pretty funny. One of my clients, he has like, I don't know, 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. It's insane. He's like a LinkedIn power user, and he will not add you as a friend unless you have a picture where you're smiling and your teeth are showing, which is why I put this picture up. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing I have this picture, or he would never have hired me, right? So that was funny. Anyway, so yeah, and then more visibility. Differentiate yourself with unique expertise, passion, and personality. It's really important that you have a personality. It's really easy to get dry and very super duper professional on LinkedIn to the point where people don't trust you. It's as simple as that. They're like, oh yeah, just putting on their corporate hat, you know? So, I mean, you want to be who you are. I'm not asking you to like, talk about like things you do on Facebook, although I've seen some people do that. And it's pretty popular, but I don't know to what end. Do you know what I mean? So we'll talk about that in a minute too, as far as what it would be. So here's some of the personal profile best practices. I said since 2025 because this research comes from this 2025 period, but I think this is still correct. So clear, value-driven headline is really important. Like that first headline that's on your LinkedIn profile. We went through this period where we got really cute with it. Like we wanted to be really super cute, but now it even is more important that it tells the algorithm who you are and what you do and who they should show you to. So it's really important, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm giving you guys a tool, by the way, so don't worry about all this. I'm going to give you a couple of tools to completely change your profile and audit it and everything, and I'll give it to you today, and I'm going to give it to you for free. So the second one is a story-led about section. So one of the things that's really big real estate in your LinkedIn profiles, as you go down, is your about section. It's not at the very top, but it is what everybody goes to when they really want to figure out who you are. So when somebody like clicks on, like goes to the trouble of clicking around and clicking into your about section, it's like because they're really trying to figure this out, who you are and whether they want to work with you or whatever. And so I think this is a story led about section, meaning like why you are who you are, where you came from, like what is your story. Again, my audit will take you through that and how to write one of those. I write mine in the first person, like I. You can choose not to do that, she, whatever, but I like saying I, so people know that I'm a human being that they can talk to. So I used to do it with the she, like step back, but I totally rewrote it to this. And then consistent posting and engagement. And I say consistent again, if you can get out there like 3 to 5 times a week, you're going to do great in LinkedIn. Again, LinkedIn is a funny platform. It's not Instagram. It's not TikTok. You do not have to do all those things on here. It does take video, which is really helpful if you love video and you can do it. I would suggest you use it, but also you don't have to, So it's a really great place for people that are like busy professionals that don't have all that much time. And then 4 is a search optimized profile. Okay, remember that everything that's going on in your profile is being read by the AI, and the AI is making a decision about where you fit in a bucket. And some people won't like that because I know many of you are multi-passionate entrepreneurs. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I like a lot of things. But that's not the way that LinkedIn is working. So if you're trying to drive business or trying to like get people to look at you as the right candidate for a job or whatever it is, you need to be dialed in on this. So when they read it, they think, yeah, her, that's really what you want. And then the last thing is really that, I got to read featured. Yeah, your featured section. So the featured section is where you have these, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can actually pin 3, well, and you can pin more, but they can see 3. You can pin 3 posts to the top of your profile. And I can show you my profile later. You can go look at mine if you want to, which is in the link, and maybe, it's Cami Hoyza. So I know you guys in the room can't do it that quick, but if you go look at mine, you'll see I have 3 things pinned to the top of my profile. And so the cool thing about that is those things are very big real estate. You can put links there. Like it actually allows you to put a link. Like it'll say, do you want to do this as a link? And you can link right out to wherever your sales page is or whatever it is you want to do, your resume, whatever it is. Okay. So you can have those 3 things be whatever they are. And I highly recommend that you obviously use that that featured section is so important. It really leads to high credibility. It gets people to where they need to go so they get to know you. So that's one of the things that's a really quick win for your profile. All right, so really quick about business pages. I'm going to run through this quick because I know some of you are going to be like, what about my business page? Okay, so number one is, again, to completely optimize all the profile details for a business page. I think it's critical that if you have a business, that there is a LinkedIn business page. And I just told you that LinkedIn doesn't favor business pages over other pages, but still in search online. I don't know if you've searched yourself or searched your business, but I would highly recommend you pop out your phone right now and do that. And you'll see that the search for your name will probably mean that you're in the top 10 of whatever the search is, and LinkedIn will be one of those. LinkedIn will be one of your links, most likely, unless you've done like me. But even me, I've done a lot of things, and still LinkedIn is in my top 10. The second thing is your business might be the same. So if you do a search for that, like maybe your Google profile and your all of those other things may pop up too, because hopefully you've done a lot of work around that, and that's a whole nother speech about what to do. What are the low hanging fruits? But Google Business is like one of the low hanging fruits. LinkedIn profiles are one of the low hanging fruits to show up in the top of the search engine results for the name of your business. So again, optimizing those profile details becomes really important, because if you're in the top 10, somebody might click on it and come just to read about you. They're not coming to like engage with the page. They're coming to just figure out where to find you and all that. So make sure they can, like on your business page, make sure they can, and make a business page so that it does pop into your top 10. You can share educational content there. I do like to do that for the field. So like whatever field you're in, I do social media management and also marketing. So like on our business page, we'll share things about how to do better with your social media, how to do better with your marketing, because that is just showing how you can do that. I don't do a lot of selling on our business page at all. Like I don't. Like if there's something new that we're offering, sure, I'll put it there. But generally speaking, I'm just talking about how people can do this better, so that when the people land there, they see things like, oh yeah, I want to do that better. And oh, I want to call Cami because she might do that. And this happens to me all the time, by the way. Most of my clients come through this kind of work. Not just the LinkedIn business page, but as part of it. And also my personal business page on LinkedIn. A lot of my business comes this way. Activate your employees. That's another way. So you can ask your employees to share things, whatever. But also, even if you're not doing that, just make sure that you have them list your company on their LinkedIn profile. Like, so when they say where they work, make sure that they're putting you in there, because it'll show activity on your page. When you go to a LinkedIn profile for a business, it says people. And when you click on people, it shows all the people who work there now and in the past. So you can see all of the people that have worked in that business. And I think it's really very helpful, because people are like, oh, this is a real business. It has employees, it has whatever. If you don't have employees, it's fine. Still do this. Even when I was a solopreneur, I did this. And it was very helpful for me to show what my business did versus what my personal brand did. So crafting keyword-rich copy. Again, remember the algorithm's watching you, and what kind of business are you? Well, you need to make sure the keywords that people are searching for are on your page. So write about things that people are searching for. And we can talk more about how that is in the questions later. Use strong visuals and CTAs, obviously images, videos. If you don't have access to a lot of that, Canva is a great resource. You can start for free, and it's not that expensive to carry something like that if you're not a graphic designer. Strong visuals and CTAs, just pictures. I mean, a lot of people, some of the most popular things are just people, like showing people doing things online. So it doesn't have to be super fancy. Yeah, it can just be a picture. So like right now, today, if you're in person, and if you're not, I took a picture of the screen this morning, guys. I might go out and share it later and said, hey, I just met all these wonderful women. And I'll talk about that today. But or tomorrow, whenever I get to it. So yes, Kimberly. So that is what you do. Like if you're sitting in the room today, maybe you get a picture of everybody together, and you guys I'll share the picture, and then you go out on LinkedIn and link to each other. And that's really the thing about LinkedIn. Linked in. You're supposed to link to each other. So like saying at Kimberly had me on her show, at Lourdes had me on, you want to like connect with people by tagging them. So if you don't know how to do that, it's easy. Just say at and start typing their name, but just be connected to people. So, okay, let me move on. That's the business page best practices. Okay, so this is the first thing. I wanted to put this up. I have all of these at the end too. We're not going to go through this document completely, but this is an audit document that I created for you. So this is a Google Doc. So you do have to be logged into Google to download it, but I gave it to Kimberly and Lourdes as a Word doc too. So if you can't get it, ask please, because they both have it. Just ask, but you can get it and you can actually download it also as a Word document but you do have to be logged in at first. So if you go to this Google document, what you will see is this really cool page that looks like this. And it'll say copy, and you just say make a copy. And then once you make a copy, it will open up in your drive because I can't give you access to it from here. And then delete, delete, delete. So you can see this. Let me show it. And this is the template. So what happens in this template is it's going to walk you through all the questions that you need to answer. And this is what I do with all of my clients, by the way, that I'm just giving you 100% what I do, just so you can see it. But we start with the profile, and it's the worksheets here. And there's another link to the worksheet here, although it's the same worksheet. Also, you can use the custom GPT to walk you through it. So I have a custom GPT for you too, and I'll show you that in the next screen or two if you are comfortable with that. But we're going to ask you what your primary goal of your LinkedIn profile is now. I'm just showing you this. We're going to go through this in the thing in a minute. I just want you to see what it looks like. The cool thing about this is you can fill this whole thing out, and either you can do the work or you can take this entire document and upload it in the AI tool of your choice and have it help you recreate your LinkedIn profile. So I will walk through some of that here in what we're about to talk about. I just wanted you to see that. All right. So let me get this big again. Cool. So again, I will give you that at the end. So there's three steps I'm going to talk to refresh your profile. Number one, we want to optimize your headline. And we want to create a value-driven headline that keeps search in mind. Again, like the queen of whatever, my friend called herself the queen of Shopify. It's fine to call yourself that because she has the word Shopify in it. But if they're looking for a Shopify expert, I might actually choose Shopify expert as the idea. So just think about what people might search for to find you and incorporate that into your headline. I think your title is important, and you can tell it's important because if you have your title in there, I have CEO, and so I get a lot of like spammy, like, DMs and things like, oh, if you're the CEO of this company. So, I mean, I hate those too. I hate those spam things, but I also know that people know that's actually showing up in the search. That means I'm showing up in search, which is a good thing. So if you want to think about the positive side of spam, think about that. Number two, refine your about section, a narrative rich about section that tells your professional story and shows your personality. Very important. And then three, implement simple engagement routines, habit of authentic interaction. I'm going to go through this engagement routine I call 2x2 engage, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's a habit of authentic interaction to build that visibility. So again, 20 minutes a day, even if you never post, might be all you need. So if you're like, I don't have time to post, go away, Cami. I don't know why you're here. But the point is that it's really about the relationships you're creating. Just like today, you're creating those relationships. I love how Kimberly and Lourdes make this about relationship building. Even if you're online, you're getting that relationship in here, because that is what makes a difference. Because people get to know you and they remember you and you're at top of mind. And then when they see something that is important for you, they will let you know, because we love to let each other know if something will help you, right? Am I wrong? Are all of you like that or not? Let me know in the chat. So again, simplified headline, expertise, your primary role or the service you provide. Use keywords. Again, your industry is really important to have there. So if people are searching for your industry specifically, it might be good to have that in there. And value, the highlight, the unique value, benefit, or transformation you bring. You can do that as well. So if there's some sort of thing you're doing specifically, you can put it in there. Again, if you are somebody who works in a job, don't worry. You also bring value. You also have an industry. You also have an expertise. Put it in there. It's really important. And those of you who are students, I heard at least one student here today, you know already that they're looking at your resumes through AI. And I've heard that now there's like the AI is like interviewing people in some jobs. I think this is a big mistake, but we'll see how this kind of shakes out. But the way around that, by the way, is knowing people. Because here's the thing, you will not have to go through that AI door if you know somebody who owns that job title that's hiring for that. Like right now, I'm putting together a job title for a company, and I'm the person who has that hand. So the point I'm trying to make to you is that if you know a person, that's going to make things a lot better for you because they're going to look at your resume not through the system, but like directly. So one of the biggest end runs around this whole AI mess is relationships. Just, yeah, thought I'd throw that out. And I work with the University of Houston students from the Public Relations Society of America. They have a PRSSA chapter there, and I'm the university person for that. And that's what I tell them all the time. It's like, it's all about relationships. And this happened. I actually gave a similar thing to those students. Montreat was asking about that. And so, yeah, I did that for them. And that was what we talked about is how do they get around this? And by the way, I had some professionals come in for that as well. And guess what happened at that meeting? One of them hired one of the students as an intern immediately on the spot. And she was telling me, I don't know if I want an intern like from the students. She told me that like just a couple of days before that. And I'm like, well, these are really smart, bright people. And she went there and met exactly the right person to be her intern. So I'm just saying, showing up to these events is also really good. All right, your about section. So these are the four things that are pretty important for your about section. I told you, narrative driven, all that. What does that mean? Okay, a couple things. Number one is a hook. Always and everywhere, especially in social media, you need a hook. This is good for posts too, by the way. You can use the same formula for a post. It works great. So number one is a hook is how do you grab somebody's attention immediately? Like they're like, this is for me, so instead of about, I did this or I was that, or, oh yeah, how would you do that? How would you grab attention immediately? And that's going to be something you need to think about in your about section. So what is it that people are looking for? So do that resonates with your audience. Credibility is establishing expertise by highlighting key achievements, experiences, unique skill sets that set you apart, just like you'd think. It's sort of a resume statement, but like not too dry. So you can pull up mine and read mine if you want kind of an example. 3 is results. Demonstrate value by showcasing quantifiable results and the positive impact. This is kind of really important. It doesn't all have to be in your about section. It also can be in your in all of your experience section. One of the things that people don't do too much is like put a lot of information about what they brought or what they did in their roles that they've been in before. I spend a lot of time with that. We're not going to go into that too deep today, but that's another place you can add that. But the results that you've had is really, really important to be thinking about all the time. Like and you may say, I don't have any like quantifiable results. What are they? You do. You're just going to have to start thinking about like what value you bring to the job that you're in, or the jobs that you've been in, or the clients that you've had, or what it is. I forget who I was talking to before in one of the things. I'm sorry, guys. But if you go out and you get money for she was the one who's getting money for her doctors. You can say, I saved my doctors this much money, or this much, we found this much money whenever we went through all of this process. Whatever it is, you just need to start thinking about how to quantify your value in that moment. And then the call to action is clearly inviting readers to connect, collaborate, and so forth. You want to like invite them in and say, hey, let's set up a call, like just hit me on the DMs, whatever it is. Like be very clear about what you want them to do next so that way you can connect with them. All right. So that's the about section. By the way, the template that I gave you and the AI thing I'm about to give you will walk you through this as well. So don't worry, you don't have to remember it. And remember, I told you the thing that you could do, even if you never posted, that's really, really powerful. This is it. It's called the Magic 2x2 engagement routine. So again, it's about 20 minutes a day. I usually do it myself about 5 days a week, roughly. I often do it when I'm sitting on the couch with my phone. You know, you're sitting there like doing your thing in the evening. I'm on the phone. I'm on LinkedIn and I am like scrolling through. I'm looking for people. I am leaving 2 comments. That's my goal every day is to leave 2 comments somewhere on somebody's posts. It's really easy to do because usually I go down rabbit holes. Do you guys go down rabbit holes on social media? I do. And so I will comment on 2 posts, really thoughtful comments on relevant posts, sometimes more, but that's my goal is 2. And then for the day, I usually create or share 2 posts. So 1 post per day is kind of your limit. I told you that. So I usually try to at least get 1 post up per day. I sometimes miss it, but if I miss the post, I'm never missing this engage thing. So posting online is that. The second thing is sharing a post. I usually either save it, share it with somebody. I might share it straight to my own feed. So if I see a post that's really powerful, I'll share it. And I'll sometimes say why I'm sharing it. Generally speaking, if you share it, it's a great thing for the person that you're sharing it from. And I might even tag them when I'm sharing it in the thing. And even if that doesn't get huge reach, it doesn't matter because I'm making a relationship with that person. That's my goal. And then I want to make sure I'm sharing something my audience that I know would like. So those 2 things are kind of the rule for me. I'm looking for something really interesting that to share, and I'm making a relationship with the person I'm sharing that content from. So those are my 2 goals. And then sometimes for the second one, I might send that post to somebody specifically. The people here in this room, I think Donna, I've done this to you before, Donna, I'm pretty sure. But people I know, if I see something that absolutely I think pertains to them, I will 100% share it to them in a DM, not to sell my stuff, but to tell them about something else that they might want to be thinking about. So you want to always think about that. So that helps you to build those connections and that connective tissue. So I call it the magic 2x2. And Will Hampton, who's a friend of mine, told me the other day that one of his current clients, because of his activity on LinkedIn, he wasn't getting a lot of business from them. They were kind of like stagnating is the best way to put it. And his business said, "Hey, I've been seeing you've been doing all of these things online." And he also started a newsletter. And I saw a newsletter and I saw you shared this and I saw you shared that. And Will said, "Yeah, I'm starting to like kind of build my business because I'm trying to get some other clients here." And the guy said, "Oh my gosh, I want you to do that for us." By the way, current client not commenting on any of his stuff. He didn't even know if the guy was reading the stuff. And then when he found out he was reading it, and I said to Will, I said, how much was that worth? How much was that extra business worth to you? And he said, about $10,000. So this is the 2x2. And he just talked. I should have brought Will with me because he would just tell you about how great the 2x2 is, because this is 100% what he uses all the time. This is a way to be active. So even if you're having a slow day or a slow week and you haven't posted, and it happens to me too, I'll have a slow week where I don't post at all, but I will never miss this. I will absolutely 100% do this every single week. So again, consistency is the key. Building those relationships is the most important part. And this particular link right here, which Kimberly has, but you guys can just pull out your phone and scan it if you're in the room, will take you to where I have a more in-depth description about how to do the 2x2. It's just something I have set up if you want it. Okay. I know I'm giving you all these resources. This is the resources slides. All right. This resource right here is the profile audit on ChatGPT. So again, the thing I gave you is 100% in this ChatGPT. So if you have a ChatGPT account, I would highly suggest you go ahead and scan this. You have to be logged in order to save everything, but it will open up a screen. And then once it opens up the screen, just say get started. You can work on it later, but just get it started and it'll be one of your chats. and it'll save everything, but you have to be logged in to do it. So if you're not a ChatGPT person, don't worry. I already gave you another way to manage this through the audit thing that I gave you. But this is 100% a very cool way to run through it. And I've had several people run through this, like hundreds, to be honest, at this point. And I actually didn't have to, I have these videos, which I can't show you, but I've got these short form videos where they've told me, I thought I knew all the things about this. I went through this entire audit. I changed my profile, and my whole engagement for my entire profile shot up like 500%. So I have some people like that have really like gotten a lot of use out of this. I hope you do too. It's free. So no, you don't even have to put your email in or anything to get it. Just go. And then
Yeah,
use, and
Tammy.
I think we're at questions now. So we are at 8:47, but using the custom GPT is this. You will get the slides. All of these slides will come to you. And there's a couple of things beyond this that I was gonna put in here for you as well, so you know. But this is the bottom line. Keep it sustainable. Small actions compound. Review and refine this regularly. And remember that visibility builds over time. So it's just those small actions every day that are going to build your visibility on LinkedIn. It's not about going out and getting clients. And somebody told me the other day, well, it doesn't work for me. I'm not getting any leads. And I'm like, are you doing the work to create the relationships? I don't know. I don't believe it because I've seen too many people do this. So anyway, I also have a few things in here, but honestly, I would love to keep in touch with you. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my smart page, and I would love for you guys to connect with me. So please scan this and do that. And I have a whole page of all of the different links. Oh, the other thing is this Friday, and like the second Friday of every month, we have an online professional development opportunity for Social Media Breakfast of Houston. So this week I have the amazing Brittany Crossan. So if you are interested in short form video and how to use it, she is the expert. And so I'm going to have her talk with me on Friday. We have a live stream just like this. So it's on Friday this week. You can grab it at smbhou.com and sign up for it. And yeah, these are all the things so that you can talk. So let's have questions, and I'll leave this up so you guys can, if you missed anything, you can go grab it.
Tammy, as usual, you're awesome, but there's tons of questions out there. That's why I'm sorry I had to kind of wrap it up.
No, I mean, I was done, so it's all good.
So we normally take one question from our virtual audience and a question from our in-person audience. So Kimberly, virtual audience question.
Okay, the first thing on the virtual audience is if you don't put the link in the post, is it okay to say in the post, link and comment?
Yeah, I don't really know. So I honestly have said, if you want information from me, let me know in the comments or something like that is what I've been doing. So I do believe that right now it's probably okay, but also just you can look at your stats, by the way. So each post has a stat, so you can see if it bothers it. I do think ultimately it will hurt you. That's just what I think. Because not if it doesn't now, they're going to figure it out. AI is quick.
Thank you. In-person question. Okay, Katie, I'm going to start with you.
Hey, Cammy, good morning. Thank you so much for the question. For the 2 times 2 or 2+2, do you have a recommendation about being strategic? Like, do you plan who you're going to reach out to, or is it just kind of the first people in your feed, or is it more like, oh, I haven't talked to these people, let me, I guess, keep a mental track of who I need to connect with?
No, that's a really good question. I do both. So I do kind of a ninja trick too. So I do have a thing which I call my list of people that I'm trying to keep in touch with. So if there's a client or somebody that I want to do, I have a list of them and their LinkedIn profiles, and I will go through them. What's really interesting is that you can this is oh gosh, this is a ninja trick. I don't know. I didn't put it in here because it's a lot, but in LinkedIn, there is something called advanced search. And inside of advanced search, you can actually look for like find your whole list and then go in there and do a search for all those specific people. And how you do that is you go into I'm looking for, and you just hit enter, and it'll pop you into advanced search. Like you don't put anything, and it'll pop you in. Hold on, why is this doing that? Of course it is. Do you see where it says search? I guess they're giving me an ad too. Sorry, guys. That figures. Oh, they're trying to get me to play those games. Have you guys played those games? But anyway, yeah, there's games on LinkedIn now. All right, so it's not doing it for me right off the bat. Hold on a second. Let me just do search and see if it'll help me. Why it's doing that, I don't know. So it does this advanced search thing, and then I actually have it saved in here. So you can go to people, pages, events, groups, and followers, and connections. So again, you can go to connections, and it'll bring you here, and then you can start searching with filters. And inside of filters, it's going to give you a bunch of filters. So you can say, I want to go with people. I like that. Or I want to go with posts. Like, so I actually do this when I'm doing this. I want to see their posts, and I want it to be from this member. And then I can start adding people. So I can say Donna Durbin, since you're here, Donna Durbin. And I can say Montree because I know her too. There you are. And I can say show the results. And it'll show me what Donna and Montree have posted on recently. So she did a tongue twister. By the way, these are really cool, Donna, these tongue twisters, really good for your business. And so I'll say, oh yeah, that's fun. So I may like clap on them or something else to say, I love these. And then what's really cool is you can see this like big, long search result up here. You can copy it and you can put it into a document. And then guess what? I can come back and I have now a special search just for Donna and Montree so I can keep up with them all the time. Hopefully that's helpful.
Thank you.
Kimberly,
Oh, we have so many questions.
I know.
I'll keep going. Well, I'll stay for a while. If you guys, I mean, for those who have to leave, you can leave, but
That's great.
I'll stay for a minute.
What is your opinion on auto posting tools such as later.com and Hootsuite?
I think they're great. 100%. So I think putting them in auto posting is very smart. Some of these auto posters also will let you do the first comment. So think about that, finding one like that. Agora Pulse is another one that's actually from Texas. And I've been talking to him. So Agora Pulse he's had some texts and things, not just from Texas, but he's got people from Texas. And I like that one too, because you can do a first post. So yeah, I like it because it helps you to have a life. Now, that being said, then you can't just ghost and post and ghost, as they say. You can't do that either. So once it posts, like if maybe it's a certain time of day, you might even want to come back by during that certain time of day and warm up the account a little bit, and interact. So if somebody like responds to your post, you want to interact like soon, quickly, so that it'll spread.
All right, in person.
Hi, I've been on LinkedIn since it started. I have over 500 plus because they stop at that.
Yeah.
But it was always when I was in the corporate world. And I only get information from the corporate world people. Plus, I lived in a different state. So it's like I have to get a whole new group of people. How do you get a new group of people because people in Pennsylvania really, the majority are not buying in Texas, right?
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, this is one of the best ones I've been to because as a realtor, I didn't think that LinkedIn was a good resource for me, but you've really opened up my eyes that it could be. So
it could. Yeah, it could. I have a lot of friends that are realtors that are using it very effectively. So, I mean, first of all, you have how many people in the room there, Lourdes?
We have about 20.
Okay. First of all of y'all, before you leave, follow each other. That's going to help a lot. I know some of you aren't in the same industry, but for a realtor especially, that's really important because really for a realtor, it's top of mind, neighborhood, local. And I totally get that your old connections don't. And I've been on since the very beginning of time too. So I get it. And I've lived in different places as well. So really it's about building that relationship locally. And so, then they will give you referrals, right? So people will remember that you're a realtor in this particular area. And so when somebody asks them, hey, what realtor do you suggest? I just had somebody reach out to me the other day and say, I'm moving back to Katy. Like, what realtor would you suggest? It happens all the time because people are constantly asking human beings that are just living in an area that have never sold their house in the last, however many years. They're like, who should I call? And I'm like, and here's who it is. So you want to be at top of mind. So probably for you and for the other realtors I've seen, it works really well to do that and then run content about local stuff. And what's great about that neighborhood? What's this? What's that? Like what's going on? What are the community things that are going on? Show up to community events, get people's, put your LinkedIn thing out there so people can connect with you there. And also Instagram probably for you too. Just putting that out.
Kimberly, one last question.
And Facebook.
Okay. I'm just doing them in order, but Cami, I'd have kept the list of questions. The next one is, how do you optimize your profile for searching when you have multiple business offerings? And I know you have multiple business offerings, so this is a great question.
It is a great question for you. So what I've done with mine is I have, for my personal profile, I have the entrepreneur vibe going on. Like that's really what I have there, is how entrepreneurial I am. On my business page, I also have showcase pages. Showcase pages are like just a little like side project thing that you can do. So I put social media breakfast there for years. I've now like rolled that into its own personal like page on its own. So you may want to either have separate pages if they're very different businesses. Separate business pages will be very helpful to you because then you can refer to them, like here's this and here's that and here's this. Now, if you have like a project within a specific business and then you have something that's kind of growing on the side, you can make it a showcase page. And I've done that with Smart Social Mastery because I work with PR marketing and consultants and people that are building their own private PR business or PR and marketing business. And so I have Smart Social Mastery as a side project to Zoetica, but we're probably getting pretty close to where I'm going to roll that out onto its own too. So again, because I work with businesses to help them with their social media, to help them with their online visibility. And then I have this other group where I help specific like solopreneurs to help them with their online visibility, which by the way, PR and marketing people, we are our own worst PR and marketing people. Like we will help you all day long. We will do anything for you. We will put it up there, but it's really hard for PR and marketing people to promote themselves. Really interesting. But anyway, so that's how, again, separate pages for each one or project pages, which are called showcase pages.
Yeah, I mean, we could spend an entire day with you talking about this because you have such wealth of knowledge. But I know that Cami has given some of her contact information. Please connect with her on LinkedIn because she is great. Like I went to a social media breakfast and I connected with her on LinkedIn. And here we are. She's fantastic about that. So thank you so much. For everybody else, WeRISE July the 14th will be profit, cash, and clarity. I know financials, folks. I know we don't care for them as much. We need them. We need them, right? We're going to talk a little bit about profit and loss and your cash flow worksheet. So again, Cami, thank you so much. Everyone will receive a replay of the video recording. Everyone will receive the slides. Cami gave them to you, but we'll send them again and we'll send the worksheet. So thank you, Cami. Thank you, online audience. We will see you guys soon. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to, I think I'll leave recording on for a minute. Amy, if you're willing, we do have a few questions. Normally our ladies stay on for networking. But instead of popping you guys into networking, I'm going to go through and do some more of these questions. And I'm not asking you if that works for you because I know you guys and I know it does. Do likes count as engagement? I've seen a lot of likes with a post that have very few comments, like 100 likes, but no comments.
Yeah, they do, but the funny thing about the algorithm is they actually weight them differently. So the likes have less weight than like say a comment. So and like a share and a save also have higher weights. So they have different weights for these things. What's cool about a comment too is if you comment on somebody's post, it automatically shows up in your feed. I don't know if you've seen that, but it shows up like that you've done that. So other people from your organization see that. So I think that's super helpful for building relationships.
Okay, and can you use your testimonials shared with them by clients? Could I use testimonial shared with me by clients with their permission, of course, I guess, as a post?
I mean, you can, and I would, but I'm going to say an interesting thing. So if, when you're scrolling through LinkedIn, and if you saw a post that was a testimonial of somebody's business, what would be your reaction? I'm kind of throwing it back at you. I don't know who asked the question.
My reaction would be, well, they're not going to post a bad testimonial.
So that was me,
Mhm.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna mute you, Renee, and just let Cami go because I have so many questions.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just tell you real quick. So here's the deal with that. Yes, you can do that for sure. It's probably not going to get much reach. It's probably not going to get much interaction. What I do with testimonials is like when I talk about Will or somebody, I weave them into a story, just like I did today. I weaved a testimonial in today for you, but I did it in a way that was about like the value that it is for you. Um, and that's what I would do is instead of making it the actual centerpiece, keep the testimonials for your website. Important to have them there, and then use them in your posts as part of the story.
Great. Here's a question that I have as well because I've turned mine on and off, on and off. What's your thoughts on LinkedIn Premium?
I don't use it. I don't think it's bad. Again, I don't need it. I think if you're a salesperson or maybe even a realtor, somebody was a realtor in the room, I think those kinds of things might be helpful because it gives you a lot more background that you might need. I just, my business needs about 10 clients and no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't need like 100 million clients. And so I guess if you're really dealing with volume, you might need it. But otherwise, I mean, I think you can do most of the things you need to do without it. And if you find it really helpful, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to have it. So,
Okay. Um, this is another great question, probably, right? For those of us with corporate jobs in addition to our business, how should we be engaging on LinkedIn when we're also trying to keep our business separate? And I have that in my accelerators where I have women that are in our accelerator, but their full-time job doesn't know that they have a business.
yeah, that's called a page, a business page. I mean, that's probably the only way you can do that. So, I mean, you can't have two personal profiles. It's just not doable. So, I mean, I would probably have a personal page, but if you don't want them to know you're doing that, you may not be able to use it this way. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I would go with it. You may actually want to build another kind of social presence somewhere else, you know, like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and then have a business page for your business on LinkedIn.
Okay. Have time for more?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, if we write a blog on our website, do we avoid posting the link to that original content? I know.
Oh, yeah. So what I would do with that, because I do this all the time, I would actually do a some sort of small post, like a version of that, and say, you know, la da 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 da, da, and then like you can put it in, you can do a link in the comments and say, hey, if you want to read more about this or go deeper on it, I did a big post about it too. So I'll do something like that. Or if you really want to, you can start creating a newsletter on LinkedIn. Take that blog post, bring it over, and then say, you know, I wrote about this on our blog today, and then put the actual blog post there, maybe, and you can get people to go over. But most of the time, I mean, they aren't going to go over. So that's the point.
Okay. Is it better to post on your business page than share on your personal, or vice versa?
Um, I switch back and forth on this one all the time. When you share from another page, it's always got to get a lesser reach on your profile. I didn't quite go into that too deeply. So like if you share from your business page to your personal page, it's not going to go as far. So I like to share from my personal page to my business page.
Okay. Let's see here. I just read that LinkedIn does not want people to leave the platform, and this is the reason posts with links are not ideal.
Yeah,
I think
100% true. I mean, that's true of every single platform. Remember, that's
yeah,
how they make their money, is keeping you on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm still confused about personal versus business. I think you've kind of answered this. It seemed Mhm.
blurred here with the CTA or headline that may also be the business side of things. Does that,
I
I
mean,
don't
yeah.
fully
So
understand the
here's the
question.
thing. The business page is about the business. It's not about you. The personal page is about you. If they make it only about the business, like your personal brand has, I'm sorry, but especially in this day and age with AI and everything, personal brand has become so important. People hate it. I get it. It's all about that. I mean, I know some people really, I hated it. I hated the whole personal brand thing, which by the way, you can tell I've embraced it at this point, but there was years that I like fought this. I fought this. I fought this. It's about reputation. Ah! Um,
It's authentic. I don't want to have to buy it.
correct. Well, I'm just totally authentic now, and I'm also a personal brand. So,
You are very authentic. And just for the room, I just want to reiterate that the connections are so important. You know, Donna Durbin was in the very first Houston Accelerator. And I saw Donna at, I don't know, it was like Smart CEO or something else in Houston. And she was like, oh, if you're in town, I've been going to Cami Hughes's events. And so it would always be that Cami Hughes's events were not when I was in Houston. And then when Cami Hughes came to DFW, guess where I was? Houston. So I asked Lourdes, please go see her. I mean, I just hear wonderful things. I follow her on LinkedIn. I'm always learning. So as you can see, you have, you know, the CWE, the connection to Donna, the connection to me, the connection to Lourdes, and now the connection to all of you. And we always say that your network is your net worth. And I'm looking at this room and I'm seeing so many ladies from the accelerator. And I know it's because you really are getting the thing about connection. For those of you that haven't been in an accelerator, we have virtual ones. The Houston one is application is about to open soon. What I call the accelerator season kicks off. The applications start opening in July, and then they just open constantly for different cities and for the virtuals. I do want to also put in the comments our link to advising, which I highly recommend. We have increased our number of advisors, so we have even more expertise. I don't mean we've increased it because we didn't have enough time. I mean that we've gotten more expertise. We have two new advisors that are actually upper level at the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce, which I think is super exciting for us. Shayla Bowden and Susan Dyson herself. So that's pretty fun. So there's our link to advising. If you have not, I mean, I think all of you must be on our email if you are directly on this call, but I'll go ahead and I'm gonna put the email option in. And I always like to say on this, you guys, we don't have a newsletter. We are going to send out twice a month what's about to happen, you know, whether it's the Austin Accelerator opening or El Paso, something going on, what grants are coming up or what great speakers are coming up. So I know me, I'm always leery about email opt-ins. I am personally guaranteeing you will not get flooded. You'll get a couple of messages a month that tell you what's happening. I know Cami probably has a lot to do. I will stay on for a few minutes. I hope you guys don't mind that we didn't do that final round of breakouts, but I feel like what we got here was so important. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next month. To my friends in Houston, I'll see you in just right around 10 days. I'm coming in for the Governor Summit, which is in Pasadena. For those of you that are in that south of Houston, South Harris County area, the Governor Summit, and those are free and always very good. So that's going to be in Pasadena. I'll see you there. And for those of you towards Laredo, Christina is heading that direction. Christina Mortel, one of our advisors, whom I know many of you love. Brilliant, brilliant woman. I think that's all for today. If anyone has any questions for me, you can come off mute.
Just thank you so much, Cami. This was so valuable. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Cami.
Yay! Thanks
I
for
also
taking your guys' time to come. I appreciate you.
And I put your link for the social media breakfast in the chat.
Thank
for people to
you.
register for the email because she meets twice a month. I try to go to all of them, once in Houston in person, but it's also live streamed on LinkedIn. And then the second, and then the fourth Friday of the month, it's online and it's
virtual
marketing, virtual. It's on marketing experts and stuff. I always learn something, tools or whatever. I'm always learning something.
Yeah, and that's a fun one. We do just pure networking on the LinkedIn one on the fourth. We bring things. Everybody brings something. Asks. It's kind of like this, but like the first part, like the whole time. So.
And we normally do another round
I know.
Cami, but I just had so many questions, and I know if I don't get them answered, they're going to be emailing me because these ladies do understand.
Oh, please do. I'm totally open. Like, send me DMs. LinkedIn DMs are probably the best way. Email like drives me crazy, but send me LinkedIn DMs. I would love that. I'll be happy to answer any questions there.
That's great. And I put Cami's LinkedIn in the chat. I'll do it one more time.
Yeah, this is one of the best presentations you guys have had in a while. I do LinkedIn training as well, Cami, here in Dallas. And great information today.
Thanks, Peggy. That I take that with like, thank you. Another fellow like trainer. I love that. Thank you so much, Peggy.
Yes. Yeah, we are already connected, oddly enough, I guess.
I know. I recognize you.
All right.
Yeah, this was great, Cami. I've been wanting to have a connection with you that wasn't just on LinkedIn, so it's kind of nice to meet semi in person.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys want to, like, for this Friday, I mean, so I think Donna just put that in, but also just smbhou.com is like where it's our website. This is our actual website.
Steal that.
Yeah. And we'd love to have you. It's all free, just like this. I don't get the money though. I need to get the grants. It's all good.
Okay.
All right, guys. Get in.
All right. Ladies, have a great day. I'm going to close out the meeting, and I look forward to seeing you next month, and some of you even sooner. Thanks,
Awesome,
Cami.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great
Bye.
day.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, y'all.